we were talking about the quality style investment and that it's been underperforming lately because of the different factors you mentioned. How do you see it bouncing back when this whole AI craze is done?
Yeah, I mean, this is a question we get a lot of, as you might imagine. And of course, what we don't know is when the winds will shift. But I think there's probably a couple of scenarios that I can paint. The most obvious one, and the one that captures people's imagination, is the sort of dot-com style crash. You know,
Everything just crumbles.
everything
suddenly.
crumbles, and suddenly businesses that are quite stable, that, you know, are reasonably valued, market thinks, actually maybe there's something in this, and, you know, but that comes as a result of something dramatic happening. I think if you look at what's happened over the last few years, what you've had is a re-rating of the overall market, driven by certain sectors, AI being a big part of it, and you had a sort of a gradual de-rating of quote unquote quality companies. And I'm generalizing, but, you know, we see it in the portfolio. And I think there is a different scenario where there isn't this big crash. You know, maybe, you know, Nvidia's revenues just sort of, you know, they stabilize, and, you know, they're growing, but not quite as fast as they have been. And, you know, that's okay, because, you know, they grow into their valuation, whatever. But there's just that headwind of multiple compression that has happened in the quality space that just stops. So if we look at the global income portfolio, even a global income portfolio, and we forecast, say, high single-digit free cash flow growth, plus a 5% free cash flow yield, I mean, all that needs to happen is the valuation multiples to stop contracting for that to be a double-digit return. Now, we might get a tailwind. I mean, I'm not predicting that at all, but it just goes to show we've got a reasonably growing portfolio, generates cash, you know, ultimately the valuations are reasonable, and that growth will be felt, and it doesn't need something dramatic to happen in the other part of the market over a reasonable period of time for that to sort of shine through.
But if something dramatic happens, the people who kind of kept steady with their strategy will come out as the big winners.
Well, I think so, yeah. And I think that if you look at the sort of performance profile of our strategy over a longer period of time, certainly in those more difficult markets, it's when it's tended to outperform.